All right, are we, looks like we're getting an alert that we're being live streamed. Is that correct, Meg or Sam?
Hold on for a second.
I did get an alert as well, but yeah, we'll
Yeah.
just confirm. Thank Congressman,
We're
thanks
good.
for the patience here.
We're good.
Yep.
Go.
All right, thank you, appreciate it. Um, um, so we're gonna start the meeting up here. Sorry, we're a little late, about 12 minutes late, just having some technical difficulties. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Uh, all right, Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which it
For which it
stands, one
stands,
nation,
one nation,
under God.
Under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
and
with
justice for all.
liberty, justice for all.
All right. And then we'll go around, introduce ourselves.
Justin, maybe you should take over. It looks like Delegate Tomlinson is frozen.
Wow. Okay, you got it. So Senator Justin Reed here. We've got members of our delegation. We do have a quorum. I'd like to go ahead because we've already held him long enough because of our technical difficulties. We're pleased to have Congressman Johnny Olszewski with us, who represents most of Carroll County. Part of the county is in a different congressional district with Congresswoman Elfreth. But Congressman Olszewski, thanks for you had requested to come speak with us, and we're glad that you wanted to address us and give us an update. So we'll just let you take it away.
I appreciate that, Senator, and good morning to the entire delegation. I think the Delegate Tomlinson being frozen is indicative of the weather we've been having the last few days. So hope y'all are holding up okay with it. But really appreciate your willingness to have me. I will try to be brief and then want to just open it up to any questions you may have before allowing the delegation to turn to the business at hand. I just want to say how much I love representing Carroll County. What a joy it's been to work alongside all of you. I know Chris Yule on my team has been present and available on any issues you have. I hope that continues to be the case, but really have enjoyed visiting your communities, working with the elected leadership, certainly including this delegation, and just getting more involved in the issues that impact our shared constituents. Our office has heard from many of those shared constituents. I'm pleased to share that we have been able to offer many services thanks to the dedicated work of our casework team. If you have any issues that are federally related in the future, please continue to work with us and pass them along so that we can have that addressed to you. We are prioritizing getting even more connected to Carroll County. In fact, as I mentioned before we started, I'll be in Carroll most of the day today. And so look forward to that. And I think that the early results of our work are hopefully speaking for themselves and really amplifying that commitment. So I wanted to share with the delegation today that we have delivered significant federal funding for Carroll County already in the 2026 appropriation bills that have already cleared Congress. And that includes $829,000 for McDaniel's new nursing education facility to tackle that nursing shortage. There's $52,000 going to the expansion of the food pantry at the Deeds of Faith in Westminster. There's another $1 million for the construction of a veterans center in Westminster. Another $1 million for a new Carroll County Youth Service Bureau building. We are sending over $1 million more towards Westminster's water purification system and $500,000 towards the sewer system improvements in New Windsor. So hopefully that showcases we have taken Carroll seriously as a new part of our district, or at least new to me. But again, appreciate the opportunity to make those investments, and we'll be doing some big checks on 2 of those projects today with our veterans and with the food pantry. So as I'm sure you all are well aware, we're dealing with an ever-growing list of challenges at the federal level. But from my perspective, the single most important thing that Congress should be tackling is the cost of living. We know that if you can't afford your rent, your mortgage, your gas, or groceries, that nothing else really matters. And so for me, and I know this is an issue you all are tackling this session, the cost of energy is very much on that list. That is why I've been so vocal alongside all of you about our shared concerns with the MPRP project, the Maryland Piedmont Reliability Project. I've made my concerns abundantly clear to PSEG, PJM interconnection and the Maryland PSC. I have yet to receive any compelling justification from PJM or PSEG. I am not satisfied with the level of communication with the community, and I will join you in the fight, especially against eminent domain, with everything I've got. In fact, last week I used the opportunity to press data center executives in my small business committee. It was a subcommittee hearing on small business and rural communities, and we specifically talked about that project. We pressed them on the unfairness of this project. As we all know, we're talking about energy being transmitted from Pennsylvania to Northern Virginia, with rural Maryland seeing no real benefit. So, highlighted the lack of community involvement from PSEG, PJM, the $424 million of costs that would be left for Maryland taxpayers to foot the bill. And I have to say, I was actually pleasantly surprised that these witnesses conceded that what's happening here in Carroll County, in Frederick, and in Baltimore County just isn't fair. So please know I want to work with you all to continue to elevate this issue as your rep in Congress any way that I can. And I mean that because I've been in your shoes before, having served both alongside some of you in the General Assembly, having served alongside you at the local level. I carry those experiences with me every day. And I've really tried to carry that approach in Congress, working with anyone, Republican or Democrat, to make progress for our constituents wherever we can. I've passed 3 bipartisan bills out of the House already in my first year as a freshman member, one dealing with port security out of foreign affairs. I was actually shocked to learn that the Chinese government had spy equipment on one of those Chinese manufactured port cranes that were brought into the port of Baltimore. And so our bill sort of seeks to get at those issues. There was a bill I passed with the chairman of small business, Roger Williams, a Republican out of Texas, on connecting career and technical education grads with businesses and jobs as they graduate, and another bill that was bipartisan about strengthening diplomacy. So really proud to be making friends with both Republicans and Democrats, whether it's on the baseball field, hosting bipartisan gatherings. And I'm doing that because Americans want us to find ways to work together. I think we can compromise without compromising our core values. And I hope that, as I said earlier, you have found my door to be always open to this delegation. So I look forward to continuing that partnership in the years ahead, to accomplishing our shared goals for Carroll County. And with that, I know you have an agenda ahead. I'm happy to open it up to any questions or comments you have for me before I hop off here. But just again, thank you for the opportunity to join briefly, and thank you for your leadership and your service to the citizens of Maryland. Really appreciate you all.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, and your door's always been open. Chris, who works for you, who's on this call, has always been very responsive. I appreciate you coming out to Town. I don't know if that was November or December. It's all kind of a blur at this point, but thanks for coming out there, checking out things, hanging around for the day. So that was out in northwestern Carroll County, so probably the farthest end of your district, I would imagine. But I know the folks out in Town appreciated you coming out.
I appreciate the hospitality. It's great to be with you.
Yeah. Senator Edie, Senator West, do you guys have anything?
I echo the comments about. I know you're going to be in Westminster today with some support for veterans and a food outreach pantry. That's great news to see that. And New Windsor, I know very much will appreciate the support for. It's been a battle in some of our small rural towns having to upgrade their wastewater and sewer treatment plants and other water infrastructure because they don't have that many ratepayers on their system. So we've over the years been able at the state level to get some support for the New Windsors and Union Bridges of the world, but it's something that we want to continue working on at the state level. So we're glad that there are some federal dollars available. And I just one question: you were in Town. I wasn't able to be there, but the post office discussion. Is there any? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but do we have any more news on trying to get the post office upgraded there?
Yeah, we are continuing to engage in conversations with the delegation, with the local leaders, with the mayor and council there. I think part of the trade-off that we're worried about, frankly, Senator, is that, we saw firsthand that it has overgrown its utilization and it needs more space. I'm as I've conveyed to folks on the ground, I'm more than happy to advocate for a a move. My only fear is I don't want it to have the unintended consequence of having the postal service decide that a move means a merger. I want to have, Tawnytown be able to keep their own postal service in town. And so and Chris, maybe you can speak to this a little bit. I know you've been engaged, but I know that we were looking at some immediacy issues around parking at least, but and trying to find signage and other ways that are, not permanent solutions, but help alleviate some of the issues. But I think we've been going back and forth trying to determine, is that a risk that we want to take in terms of looking for alternative space in a way that doesn't jeopardize having a post office in town.
No, agree with that. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I was there dropping off mail probably right before session started. And yeah, the parking situation is terrible. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's almost no parking.
And one thing I think I can work on is, and I think we were talking about this, is really trying to work through our side to get the employees to use the town parking lot, so that at least at a minimum, it's sort of the residents who want to use the service have better parking options. I don't know that's going to alleviate all of it, but I think that was one of the immediate takeaways, Chris, that you were going to be working on.
Yeah, that's right. We've reached out several times to USPS to try to engage them on this matter, and they've been pretty slow to respond. So we're continuing to press from our end to try to come up with a solution here.
Okay. Delegate Boucher or Delegate Rose, do you guys have anything?
Yes, thanks, Chairman. And Congressman Johnny O, I really appreciate the empathy you give our constituents. I know that your working class background really gives you a platform and a position that helps you work bipartisan with us. And I am sincerely grateful for what you're doing. And I think it sets a tempo and a message into the future how we can achieve things together. So thank you very much. And I agree with everything Senator Reedy just said as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Delegate. Appreciate that.
Congressman, let me just interject. I'm not sure whether you're aware, I'm part of a bipartisan group of legislators from all of the PJM footprint states. And collectively, we're pressing for new rules to be adopted, which would require new large users of electricity coming online, very large users, i.e. data centers, to provide their own electricity. And if they don't do it, they get turned off first if we have a situation in which there's not enough electricity to go around. So down the road, there may be an opportunity for you to support us in that.
I was going to say, please keep us posted. That's the kind of legislation we'd love to support that you all might be pursuing. I'm pretty sure, and Chris can send this as a follow-up to the delegation, I am almost confident that we have now co-sponsored legislation at the federal level that would require these big energy users to create their own energy. So I believe that we're also pursuing a similar track at the federal level as well.
Great, thanks.
Thank you, Senator. Delegate Rose, did you have anything? You're on mute. Delegate Rose, you're on mute. We can't hear you. All right, Congressman, thank you so much for getting on here. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I know you've got a million things going on.
No worries. Excited to give out some big checks in Carroll County today.
Yeah. Wish we could be to see them.
Well, I appreciate you all doing the important work of the people of Maryland. Thanks for representing not just Carroll, but the millions of Marylanders that you do. And again, I appreciate the relationships we're all building and cultivating. And please call on us if we can be helpful in any way.
Yeah, today on the floor we'll be going over these the new map, which I hope we don't get because I think we lose you in Carroll County. Isn't that right?
That would be an unfortunate consequence if the lines were to change. So I've really enjoyed my service and hope to continue working with y'all.
Yeah, we gotta keep you. So we're gonna try to stop that map.
Well, good luck the rest of the session. Hopefully I'll see y'all sometime before things wrap. But again, really thank you for the time and good to see everybody. So thank you again.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Congressman. Thanks. All right, we're gonna get into our bills now. We certainly have a quorum now. First one got on our list is our annual public facilities bond. I think we have director of
Chris, this
yes.
is Meg. You need to vote on the minutes from the last meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Meg. Appreciate it. All right, we do need to vote on the minutes from our last meeting, which was the one we had
Favorable.
out in Carroll County. Thank you, Senator Webb.
Second.
Thank you, Delegate Boucher. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. We've approved the minutes, so we can move on. Thank you, Meg. Appreciate it. Well, first bill on our list, coming County Commissioners is our Carroll County Public Facilities Bond. We have with us the director from Carroll County's government. We have the director of budget management. Take it away, Ted.
Yeah, I really don't have any presentation for you. I'm just here to answer any questions you might have. This is our annual request. We need authorization from the General Assembly to issue debt. Each year as part of our capital program, we plan for certain projects to be using debt.
Move favorable.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Ted? All right. I think we're good then. Okay. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. I think we're good to go. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you.
Just in time for the commissioners meeting to start.
Yes.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on here. Then we've got on the list, we've got our workers' compensation for the Carroll County Correctional Deputies. I think we have with us the president of the FOP, Ash Owens, I believe. Yep, there we go. I see you.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. We can hear you. Just want to give us just a little synopsis on what this bill is one more time.
Sure. Good morning, senators, delegates, others in attendance. So my name is Ash Owens. I'm the president of the Carroll County Fraternal Order of Police. I'm also a detective with the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. And we're talking about the workers' compensation piece of this. And I'm asking that you support legislation to adding correctional deputies to the presumptive occupational disease laws that are in existence, specifically Labor and Employment Article 9503 and 9628. So these statutes deal with workers' compensation as it relates to different fields of public safety and things such as hypertension, heart disease, heart attack, things of that nature. And the statute provides the presumption that those conditions are caused inherently by the job that folks perform. So currently in Carroll County, firefighters and our law enforcement deputies with the sheriff's office are covered under the existing statute. And the reason that the law enforcement deputies are covered is because the Carroll County Sheriff's Office is the primary full-service law enforcement agency for Carroll County. The existing law recognizes that inherent stress, trauma, health conditions that can certainly arise from the types of work that both firefighters, law enforcement, and various other folks under the umbrella of public safety. It's just something that comes with the job, and unfortunately. And as I said, there's some other counties similar to ours that their sheriff's offices are covered because they are the primary law enforcement in the county. But our corrections in Carroll County, those folks are not covered under the existing law. Now, when you look at the law as it exists now, you'll see that over the years, there's been different entities added who are different pieces of different organizations under the umbrella of public safety. So if you look at it, you'll see things like Montgomery County Sheriff's Office added, Montgomery County correctional officers added, and different other counties that have gone through the process of legislation to get their folks added. At some point, it was recognized that folks such as sheriff's offices that are not primary in their county and also correctional officers, they still have the same types of stress and health conditions that come from that law enforcement and firefighters have. So when I look at the first thing, when I look at the law, the first thing that comes to mind for me when I see that those other counties have had their folks added is that the job doesn't change when you cross county lines. Our correctional deputies still face the same challenges, the same stresses, and the same traumas and different things that you have to deal with, both in law enforcement and in the world of corrections. So it's the cost of the job on one's health that doesn't change, certainly, just because you cross a county line. I think, unfortunately, we tend to forget about our correctional deputies. They aren't seen by the public. They're behind closed doors. This isn't a place that's accessible to the public necessarily. And they do so much. They have so many different responsibilities. They wear so many different hats. And the first thing that comes to mind, I think, when we think about corrections deputies, is that there is a concern for their safety, of course, the same way it is with law enforcement officers out on the street. But they also have to be concerned with the safety and the health of the inmates that they're responsible for. They're responsible for making sure that drugs aren't getting into the detention center. They're responsible for making sure that fights aren't occurring, that they're getting ahead of things like conflicts with the inmates, making sure that certain inmates are not put around other ones and moved, and they got to do research on the inmates to make sure that they don't make a mistake and put people together that shouldn't be put together. They got to keep the peace. They got to deal with people's mental health conditions, medications, and different things. And certainly, there are many folks that come through the detention center anywhere, not just Carroll, but certainly in Carroll, have drug dependencies. So they're dealing with withdrawals, and sometimes they're counselors, and it's just the nature of what they do, all while being on the move with putting on those different hats, but working shift work, working long hours, sometimes working overtime, just like with law enforcement on patrol, who we have to have a certain amount of people that are working on patrol. So sometimes people have to work overtime, even though they necessarily don't want to, or they're tired and they want to go home. You can't not have the detention center manned with enough people. So if there's a manpower issue, then folks are working longer hours, and different schedules and sleep deprivation. They deal with all of that the same way that firefighters and our law enforcement deputies deal with. So I want to make sure that we don't forget that, and that those folks are seen and recognized for the job that they do, because it truly, it's a different type of job, but it's the same thing. It's no different than, like I said, law enforcement, and the cost of it on your body and your health, potentially, as a firefighter or a law enforcement deputy. So the reason that I'm passionate about this is that 2 years ago we had a sergeant in the detention center who had worked for the detention center for many years, and he passed away suddenly from a heart attack at his home. And he was beloved by so many in the sheriff's office. And through that process and the aftermath after his death is when I became aware of the fact that our correctional deputies and many other correctional deputies or officers in the state are not a part of this law, but some are. And so that's where I became very interested in this, and I wanted to do everything that I could to make sure that we took care of our folks here at the detention center in Carroll County and made sure that they had the same benefits that others under the public safety umbrella already have. In Carroll, we recognize that our correctional deputies are a part of the public safety entity. They're in the public safety pension, they're in the public safety disability, along with fire, EMS, and law enforcement deputies. So I sincerely appreciate everyone from the delegation being open to hearing this from me and being interested. And I just ask that you help me make this a reality for those folks to be added and recognized and appreciated and put on the same level truly as everyone else in our public safety in Carroll County. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, this legislation makes perfect sense, and I hope that we can get this over the finish line. I think this probably will come to my committee, might go to judiciary where Delegate Boucher is. He's on that committee. Either way, I look forward to hopefully getting this over the finish line because I mean, yeah, this bill makes perfect sense, and it's not right that these guys don't already have this, quite frankly. Delegate Boucher.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I agree with this bill. I think you sold it very well. I think it's extremely important that these individuals have not only the backing of the insurance, but if we can be proactive in some way with a mental or physical health therapist on a regular basis come in, that might reduce their premium. But the big thing I want to find out is what's the cost of this? Has there been any numbers, and is anyone from budget there that can answer that question? Because we need to know the fiscal note and the impact of it. Thank you.
I was going to say, I think that question, Ash, you've been asked that question before, and if I recall, it's kind of hard to quantify, right?
Yeah, it's hard to say because it's related to workers' compensation. So essentially what this, if added, what this law would do would be add the 100 and some odd members or employees from the Carroll County Detention Center to have the eligibility to make a workers' compensation claim if they find that they have hypertension, heart disease, or if they have a heart attack. If they survive a heart attack, certainly, but even if they pass away from a heart attack, then there would be some kind of workers' compensation related to that. You could go a year and have none of those additional 100 people make a claim, or you could have 5. It all depends, and it's hard to put a number on. I don't know enough, admittedly, I don't know if the county earmarks a certain amount of money for workers' compensation. I don't know enough off the top of my head about how that works. But unfortunately, I can't say a hard number of like, oh, this is what it will cost per year, because it's kind of unpredictable that way.
All right, thank you. But at the end of the day, it costs a premium to add people on. And I think eventually someone from accounting with the county needs to get back to us because there's actually a price that's all come with this to cover more people for an expanded coverage policy. That's just the biggest thing I'm concerned about is the county and the budgeting. But I'm more than happy to support it. It's a very just cause. Thank you.
Agreed. Anybody else have any questions?
Move favorable.
Can we get a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Thank you, Senator West, Delegate Boucher. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. I think we're good. Thank you. Thanks for hopping on here, Ash, and going over that. Appreciate it. I know you've explained this bill probably 100 times different at this point. But thanks for doing it one more time.
Sure. I'm happy to. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Ash.
All right, thanks. Next up, we've got from the county, from our county government, we've got bringing back from last year. Hopefully, we can get over the finish line this year. I've got an issue with unpaid personal property taxes, and I think we have, if I get the title, comptroller Hobbs, is that right? Okay, so we've got our county comptroller on the line here, and can you give us a brief overview of what we're trying to accomplish here?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. So we are currently the county doesn't have the ability to enforce unpaid personal property tax easily. The one enforcement way we could do is go around and confiscate personal property, but that would take way too much manpower. A couple things that go along with this is that the county does sign off for the state for trader's license and liquor license. If the personal property bills are not paid, we can deny those. This would kind of go along hand in hand with the permits, where a business comes into the county to apply for a permit, and if they have personal property tax that is not paid, we would be able to hold that permit until they paid that with the county, just like we do with trader's license or the liquor license when we apply those. Currently, not everyone that applies for a permit would have personal property because it is on things like furniture, fixtures, office and industrial equipment, machinery. So not all businesses would apply to, but we do have, and I was just looking back here, I think we have a significant amount of about 150 unpaid personal property tax. And of those, we would estimate about 40 of those could be ones that we could hold those permits until we were able to get those personal property tax paid. So we're requesting that we have the ability to hold the permits in conjunction with our own permits office until the property tax is paid.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Anybody have any questions?
We heard this bill last year. I think I voted for it last year, so I move favorable.
Yeah, this is one where we're trying that again.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Senator West, Delegate Boucher. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Comptroller, and now you can hop onto the or walk over to the commissioners meeting.
I will. Thank you.
Thanks. The next thing we had on our agenda, the county's something we were trying to do with the Board of Health. We're gonna pull that one. I think we're most likely gonna hold off on that for this year. Still working out some issues with that. So we're gonna skip over the Board of Health and move on to the District Planning Commission's bill proposal. With the commissioners now in session at 9 o'clock, I don't think we're going to have Commissioner Susan Krebs with us, who's been working on this. Pam, is there anything you're able to share on this one?
I don't have a lot of information about this one.
Okay, I believe with the idea here is that we're trying to create there's obviously an existing planning and zoning commission, like every county has. But the idea here is that I believe we're trying to create a separate planning and zoning commission for specifically the Eldersburg area. Eldersburg is in a unique spot as Eldersburg is not a municipality, and I believe there's more people that live in Eldersburg at this point than even our largest municipality, Westminster. So with the Eldersburg community being so large, the idea here is that Commissioner Susan Krebs and the commissioners are trying to have a more focused planning and zoning commission, just working with just members from the Eldersburg community focused on Eldersburg issues. Beyond that, I don't know if I can go more into more detail. I don't know if I have any more details beyond that.
Mr. Chairman, if I could add in that, I think it just to be clear, it's enabling legislation for the commissioners if they so choose to do this. This is not us doing it. It's just to be. I know you were talking about it, but it is a request from the commissioner for Southeastern Freedom area, which is Commissioner Krebs. And I think other commissioners are interested, but they can't really have the discussion unless they have the ability to do it. So this bill would allow them to do it. The Freedom area is its own its own water and sewer. It has water sewer. So it's a designated growth area in county planning, like the municipalities are, but it's not a municipality. where, as you mentioned, is like, Hampstead or Westminster or any of our municipalities have their own planning and zoning, commissions or planning commissions at some level. But obviously they don't with Freedom. Sykesville does. Sykesville is part of Freedom area, but outside of the town of Sykesville, which is relatively small geographic, limits, there's not that. So they want to have that discussion. So this bill would be to give them the ability to set this up. That we do have to get that through the state legislature for them to have the enabling authority.
Thanks for clarifying that. Sorry, I was getting ahead of myself there. Delegate Boucher.
Thank you, Chairman. Having been a county commissioner, this addresses something I've seen coming up quite frequently. Being such a large unincorporated area, a lot of times they either have one or none on a planning commission, which really hurts them, and they feel they absolutely need a voice. And I think this is very justifiable, but I really would like to hear from a commissioner or some of the commissioners on this. Are we okay with time to delay it, or we have to vote on it today?
We're definitely going to have another meeting to discuss some additional legislation potentially. I mean, yeah, if you want more information, we can hold off.
Thank you. I think it'd be best if the public hears from the commissioners on this to play it out right, and then we can back it better. So thank you.
Yeah, well, like I said, the commissioners went into their, well, went into their session at 9 o'clock. So the timing wasn't perfect. Maybe for our next meeting, we'll try to maybe look at a different, not Thursday, look at a different day where they don't have their weekly open. But yeah, that's,
Sorry.
oh, sorry, Pam. Yep.
Sorry to interrupt. If you have any specific questions, let me know what they are, and I'll make sure that we get them addressed as well in advance of that.
Thank you. Yeah, Delegate Boucher, we'll try to get Commissioner Krebs on here for our next meeting. Like I said, it's not that she no-showed or anything. It's they're in session, so they're busy. So all right, yeah, we can if everybody's fine with that, we'll hold off on that one. Senator Eady, Senator West, are you guys fine with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. That concludes our list of bills. We also have one here next up from our county's workforce development board. We have the executive director Heather Powell, and I believe also Brandon Butler from the state
Yep.
organization. Yes. So hand it over to you guys.
Sure, Mr. Chairman, I'll be brief because I know you and Delegate Boucher already heard my spiel, so we'll keep it real simple. Brandon Butler, Pinnacle Strategies on behalf of the Maryland Workforce Association, representing the 13 local workforce boards in the state of Maryland. We wanted to come on here. We came on last year. I know Delegate Tomlinson was on very briefly to connect with our local contact in Carroll County, Heather Powell. Heather is one of our directors, part of the Maryland Workforce Association. Maryland has a local workforce system, and there's not a whole lot of folks who understand that. We wanted to come on to a number of legislative delegations and just say this is what we offer in connecting with businesses and job seekers in your community. Heather, I will say I'll give a shout out to Heather and her team. This past year, the Maryland Workforce Association did a online virtual job fair. And we handed that to Heather and her team, who just absolutely knocked it out of the park when it came to connecting with job seekers and with businesses. So I'm gonna stop and just hand over to Heather to give you a quick update on to what the resources your constituents have in their communities. Heather?
Sure. Thank you. And I appreciate everybody's time this morning. I'll be brief, but it's nice to have this audience. I think it's so important to hear about the local workforce because you're looking statewide, obviously with a focus to to the local, but I think initiatives sometimes are handed out statewide. A lot of people like to use the term workforce development and get their hands in it, but I think it's important to know what your local resource is. We're here every day in the 13 workforce areas, and in Carroll County particularly, we're serving local businesses, our constituents. We have an American Jobs Center, and regardless of how the money flows in and out of the state for workforce development or where it comes from, people know to come to our American Job Centers. For unemployment resources, for job seeking services, businesses finding employees. So day in, day out, we provide that consistent service. But also what we're doing is we're an agile group. We have a local workforce board that's made up of local partners, community members, and business and industry leaders that know what the landscape is in the county and what our needs are. So when the state is looking broadly at needs, we can fine tune it to our county. Just some of our successes, we've only been around as an independent workforce area. We're in our 5th year. So during COVID, when everything was shut down, we were able to use resources. Delegate Boucher knows that we brought in a mobile welding classroom, and in short order, in 7 weeks, we got over 22 welders up and certified and into jobs. We were also, excuse me, we know that there was a CDL, a driver shortage nationwide, and it was affecting Maryland at that time. The option for Carroll Countyans was to go to Dundalk in the evenings and weekends over long periods to train after they'd worked all day. We worked with Carroll Community College, and we brought that training to the college. Economic development, our local office helped fund their driving course. So it was a partnership. Those are the things that the agility of local workforce areas, it's so important to know that we can make things happen quickly. I think the biggest thing right now that we're doing that I'm excited about is we're in the school systems with career and college readiness under Blueprint. I think that's the best money being spent. I know that's not a big favorite of everybody. It's a bit of a bugaboo, but the public school system is a siloed institution. They serve a lot of people. Education is slow to change because there's so much regulation. What you've just done by doing this is putting us in there. We're agile. So we're talking about labor market information that's happening in real time that curriculum isn't as quick to catch up on. So we know what the in-demand needs of businesses are in real time. We're helping kids that are leaving the school system. We're showing them what occupations are, what industries they can work in, because we want them in our communities. They're our future talent pipeline. So I would ask today that if you have questions as you start your session and you're looking at bills, if anything comes up that mentions workforce development, that you reach out to us. We'll be reaching back out to you because I think we should be part of that conversation locally. So you're just not widely broadcasting funding. You need to know what the locals need, and we can make a difference. So that's my soapbox today.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. I saw Delegate Boucher's eyes light up when you mentioned welding. So
Always. Yep.
I did not know that you guys were involved in the CDL program with the community college. I love that program. I was there for I don't know what you want to call it, the
groundbreaking or
groundbreaking. It was right before I got sworn in. My dad's driver. He's driving a truck right now somewhere around Maryland. He's been driving trucks my whole life. So and you're right, there is a major need for that. And I've got an idea, something that just, unfortunately, I failed to, but I have an idea, but I haven't done very much to pull the trigger on it or talk to the right people probably. But if you could follow up with me, I've got an idea that related to the CDL program at the community college and the public school system in Carroll. So sure. I would like to talk to you offline about that. Something that I have talked to people about it. I haven't followed up and pushed it hard enough. But yeah, we'll talk at some point.
Sounds good. Sounds
Um,
good. Thank you.
Delegate Boucher or Senator West, Senator Reedy, do you guys have anything?
No.
Great.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
And Heather, what so we've got it correct. Currently, what is the name? Because you guys went through a name change a couple years back.
We did. So if you're from Carroll County, you would remember Burke, the Business Employment Resource Center. We're now Carroll County Workforce Development.
All right, I just wanted to make that clear because I know that sometimes a lot of folks remember the Burke name.
Yes, yes. So we won't hold that against anyone if they call us Burke, but we would like to answer to Workforce Development.
And are you guys in the same building still?
We are. We are.
Because yeah, I know that the daycare center they're out. They were, I guess,
Correct.
below you.
Yes, yeah, they were kind of separate, so they're no longer located there. So we're co-located. Part of the American Job Center, we have core partners that help people when they're unemployed. Our one partner that's co-located here is adult education through Carroll Community College. And then our other partners, the Division of Rehab Services, the Department of Social Services have office hours here, as well as the Department of Labor. The other agency that's located in our building is Care Healing Center, formerly Rape Crisis.
That's right. Yeah. So I was just talking with the woman that runs that down here the other day. Yeah, that's right. She was telling me she's in that same building. Yep.
Yeah. So
cool. Yeah, if nobody's got anything else, Heather, Brandon, appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks, guys.
thank you guys. Have a great day.
All right, see ya. And then the last thing on the agenda is new business. I know for we're working on some potential legislation, some liquor bills that we might want to introduce. Carroll County has two distilleries, Patapsco Distillery down in Sykesville, and then Cavalent in downtown Westminster. They have come to us with some ideas, some what I would call pro-business legislation. It's not quite ready for prime time yet. We're still working with bill drafting. They've had a lot of questions, which is a good thing. It's better that they ask questions and just kind of assume. So we like that. And then we're also still working with our county commissioners and the county liquor board. So we're trying to go through the appropriate channels before we put anything officially on the agenda. So just throwing it out there that I am working on potentially two liquor bills, but they're not quite ready yet for prime time.
Okay. Well, I think we're all available to meet we're all down here in Annapolis on virtually a moment's notice. So just let us know.
Yes. So we'll definitely be having an additional meeting, especially like earlier we talked about Delegate Boucher wants to have one of the commissioners, probably Commissioner Susan Krebs, hop on here so we can understand the idea for the planning commission, the Eldersburg Planning Commission. Does anybody else have anything for new business?
Nope. Thank you.
No. Okay, Delegate Boucher, you're good. I think I saw a thumbs up. Okay.
Well, all I have to do, I want to ask one question about the Carroll County Board of Health bill being postponed. Was that postponement by Grover Cleveland?
I think it was the second term that they've been the county commissioners have served as the Board of Health. Grover Cleveland's second term, I believe.
Thank you. I just wanted people out there to put it in perspective to address a controversy we had over this before. It shows the depth of this existence. So thank you.
Yeah, was that Delegate Boucher? Can you name one more fun fact about Grover Cleveland?
He served 2 non-consecutive terms. He was the only president to ever do that until Donald Trump pulled it off. So Donald Trump pulled off for Grover Cleveland. Thank you.
I can give you a fun fact. His son was a longtime partner at my law firm, and when I first joined the law firm, the son was ailing and he died shortly thereafter. But the presidential desk was sitting in his office in the law firm, and I got to sit behind.
Wow, that's a neat
It's
little nugget.
impressive.
Wow.
That is pretty awesome. That's awesome. And that actually makes a lot of sense because he marries. I know we're way off track here, but I believe he had the only or one of the few weddings at the White House. It was kind of a bizarre situation. He married his best friend's daughter, who he became when his best friend died. He became, I guess, kind of the foster parent, and he went on to marry her. Very bizarre, but she was, as you can imagine, a lot younger. So that probably makes sense to why the kid was still alive.
In the 1970s.
Yeah, that probably actually adds up because there was a major age difference between him and his. Anyhow,
that's right. That's a great story. That was like a Celine Dion situation where she married her manager who'd taken charge of her career when she was 12. It's sort of Grover Cleveland did the kind of the same thing with yeah. What a time. What a time.
Photograph of a very elderly Grover Cleveland, very elderly, with his little baby sitting in his lap.
That makes sense then. Yeah. Hope everybody who's listening, I hope they are extremely interested in President Grover Cleveland as much as we are.
Fascinating. American history. There you go.
I think that's all we got here, unless anybody else wants to throw anything out there.
No.
All right.
See you soon.
Got to get to the floor here soon. So, all right. Appreciate it, guys. We'll schedule something soon for follow up. Can I get a motion to I think it's just Delegate Boucher and I.
Motion to adjourn and second. Whoever did you
I'll
motion?
second it. All right. Thank you. See you.